Okay, hello parents. My name is Luisa Ochoa. I'm your daughter's maths teacher, and I'm creating this video because we're back to remote learning, and there were some things that we learned from last time. So, even though remote learning brings its own challenges, it also brings the great opportunity for students to become more independent with their learning and also to be able to learn at their own pace. So my objective with this video is to show you how my maths lessons are structured and also to show you where can you find information and how to help your daughter if she becomes stuck. So let's get into it. Okay, so the starting point of every maths lesson is the student outline. So every student has an outline that specifies how the lesson or the whole unit is going to be organized. And this student outline is what triggers the whole cycle in learning. So the cycle starts with instruction or what we call teaching, then practice, then they receive some feedback. Every time that they do homework, they receive feedback. Then there is more practice, and then is the next step of learning, and then the cycle goes again. Go into the student line outline, check what is my next step in learning, and we go again into the cycle. Okay, so I'm going to explain each one of these steps and what resources are available for each one of these. So the first one is the student outline. This is an example and is the unit that we're starting with, that is algebra equations. And as you can see here, it says lessons 1, 2, 3, and it continues downwards. There are the learning intentions, and these are the resources that are available for this particular lesson. But what I encourage the girls to read this is that lesson 1 is not the lesson they have to take, like learn all of this only in that lesson, but to see it more as the first step in learning. Once they feel comfortable and they feel that they have completed the whole cycle, and they feel that they have mastered these skills, then they go into the next step. What happens is that usually we expect that this will happen over one lesson, but sometimes the students go faster and they can cover two things in one lesson, and sometimes they go slowly and they need to take a little bit more of time. So the important thing is that each student here has to go at their own pace in their learning, but work at a good rhythm. This is not about taking much longer on each one of those steps. So that's why it's important to say how much we expect more or less to be happening in each lesson. Okay, the first step with the outline. So with what I had before, let's say that we're in step 1. So this is what is going to happen. The first thing that will happen is the instruction. What resources are available in the instruction? The first resource available is Google Classroom, and the second is the YouTube videos. So in Google Classroom, this is an example of how I structure my lesson. So you can see here that this is the topic that we're going to be doing, algebra equations. You can see here that their student outline is there, a booklet that we're going to be using is there, and you see this step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. These are gray because the girls cannot see it yet. They're scheduled to be launched on the 20th of July when we start classes. But what is available, they will see it in blue, and they can click there and see the resources that are linked to that step 1 that we spoke in the outline. The other thing that I want to point out here is that when they go into Google Classroom, always go into classwork, because if they go into the stream is like a Facebook. It posts things chronological. I like to post it in classwork so that girls can see very structured what is happening, what is the topic, and what are the resources available under that topic. The second resource that is available is the YouTube videos. So I'm sure that you have listened a lot of times my voice. So this is my YouTube channel, and here are the playlists that I have created. So usually in Google Classroom, where they go into one of those links, it will take them directly to one of these playlists. And this is the second thing that I want to mention here. If you're going to browse my channel because you want to check some of the videos or whatever, I encourage you to do it in playlists, because usually each lesson has more than one video. So it has a whole playlist underneath, and you can see that I have labeled it that year 8, or year 7, so that you know that you're looking at the videos that are appropriate for your daughter's class. Wonderful. What does students need to do in this step? They need to watch all the videos and take complete notes. So I want to make an emphasis here. This is the first place where you can help your students, your daughters, in what to do. I found that some of the girls were stuck and they didn't know what to do. What is the next step? Because we're not in the classroom. In the classroom, we usually say, okay, now we're going to watch the videos, we're going to take notes. So they take out their books and they start doing it. But because we are not there with them, sometimes it's like they have the outline, they have the Google Classroom, but they don't know what to do. So you can help them and say, okay, you're going to watch these videos now, and you're going to take notes in this book. I encourage them to take notes in their book, because that's what is going to help them to study at the end for the test. And it's also what is going to help them in year 8 when they have to go back and revise their notes. It's very important that the girls start developing this habit of taking good notes that is going to help them for their learning and studying later on. Wonderful. I'll continue in the next video.